in speaking about how we sometimes show up in our bodies as a result of trauma, what do you all offer or would like to consider or offer other people in terms of like what's some of the balm, right? What are some ways to help us and support us in returning back to the body, in finding safety in the body, in being able to return to that crime scene with new eyes, with compassion? What would you offer?
I think of breath work. Because if you are re-entering your body, that's a very safe way of just like tracing your breath through your body, right? And just following it through your body and starting to reconnect with your body in a way that you're also able to really control because you're the one doing the breathing. So I often do breath work, offer breath work, and then like light touches, just like put your hand on your thigh and just think about that connection, like your body touching your body. What are you feeling? What does your hand feel like? What does your thigh feel like? And starting that as a place of grounding for whatever experience you're having. And there are things that are really like minute. So if you're feeling overwhelmed in a meeting, you can put your hand on your thigh, right? If you are in a really intense conversation, you can take a deep breath and trace that breath through your body. So there are things that are welcoming you back into connection with your body, but there are also skills that you can use just navigating the world as a person, but definitely as a survivor.
I use thinking of those things and also with my clients. I'm a big dancer, so I dance.
Yes.
You know, so I have clients who I encourage to dance and go out dancing by themselves or dance alone in their house and dance in front of mirrors and watch how their body moves and you know, and looking at how your body responds to the rhythm, responds to lyrics, and being grateful for that. I have clients who swim, or even the clients that can't swim, but you want to take a nice bath, and acknowledging how that water feels on your skin, how it feels to even go further enough to visualize you washing the things that you don't need off of your body and watching it flow down that drain and realizing that those things aren't here anymore. I love getting people to practice really good gratitude routines of self-care. Like you get out that shower, you get your favorite body butter, your favorite lotion.
20 minutes.
There we go. While you're doing it, thanking the parts of your body for what they did today. Thank you for, because I had on the heels and it wasn't really, but you kept me doing that. Thank you, legs, because when I was in that meeting, I felt the anxiety, but you allowed me to get it out in a way. Thank you to my chest because you kept my heart beating. Thank you, even when it comes down to brushing your hair and being like, thank you, because the wind was winding and yeah, I'm a bald-headed girl now. So, but you kept me warm. And being able to say all those things and being like, wow, that's the totality of me. I'm thankful for me.
The gratitude piece is so huge, and I love that. I do all of those things and offer them up to my clients, and we do a lot of tapping. And so when we're doing our rounds of tapping, it's like we're acknowledging the pain and the things that we're experiencing. And it's like, even though I still love and accept myself. So even though I'm feeling this in that moment, I still love and accept myself, and really ingraining that to our core. And, you know, acknowledging maybe I'm not a dancer. I'm a Black girl who can't dance, but I love movement. I know I'll be trying. It's a safe space, so I shared that with y'all. But I be trying, y'all. I be trying. So it's just like moving and getting that stress out of your body. Before I wake, even this morning, I do a round of progressive muscle relaxation. And it's so huge, especially on Black bodies, because...
Can you say what that is?
Yeah, so progressive muscle relaxation, essentially, it's where you're releasing the stress within your muscles. And it could be just as simple as tightening your wrist, releasing. I start from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. And so I'll center, and typically I'll ask myself, okay, what am I feeling in my head? And, you know, just like, I'm gonna look real strange right now on camera, but just like tightening my cheeks, all of these things, and then releasing that so that my face can release, my neck, my shoulders, and just going down, all the way down. Typically me, because I have a high bed, so before my feet even hit the ground, I'll stretch my legs out, and then I'll begin to go into a round of progressive muscle relaxation with my feet into my calves, to my thighs, my buttocks lifting up in the seat. So before I even go out into this world and I let my feet touch that ground, I'm already doing this.
So beautiful. Yeah. I was going to say, dance, I believe dance saved my life, and then it became other embodiment and movement practices, but I'm a survivor of many things. And as a little girl, my mother managed to send me to dance class, and I know that was a stretch for her. She did what she could to send me to take dance classes, and I would be arriving to dance class in a way, feeling a way, in a mood. And when I left dance, I never wanted to leave, and I would be feeling different. And in my younger body, in my younger mind, I didn't understand what was happening. But as I got older, I'm like, oh, I was showing up a way, releasing, alchemizing, transmuting, and then in a different place so I could navigate some of the things that were going on at home. And then my work became about this. I also feel that yoga and other joyful movement practices are helpful because it gives us the practice of making choices with our bodies and having agency and autonomy with our bodies. And for survivors, that's really important when that choice of power and control was stolen in those moments of violation. So to be able to feel in your body, do I want to do this? Yes or no? Okay. Wow, when I did that, it felt really good. And this is what pleasure I'm giving to myself feels like. This is what welcoming pleasure feels like. This is what it means to be safe when I invite someone into my space and they say, does this feel good? Does that feel good? To the left, to the right, right? And so I think that that's really powerful. And ultimately, when we live at home in our bodies, we can hear the voice of our intuition. We know the sensations of what our inner voice feels like and sounds like and tastes like and smells like. And when we know what our intuition feels like and sounds like, we're ruled from the inside, right? We're deeply connected to our sovereignty, and that makes the things coming from the outside telling us what to do and how to be less powerful.
There's so much power in letting yourself go, even if it looks ridiculous. Shake, gyrate, flap, whatever that looks like. Kick, punch, like if you got some rhythm, you can bring a little swirl to it as well. But I think there's so much value in that. And when we dance together, when we sing together, we release endorphins, and that helps us to manage pain. So we've known how to do this for a long time, right? We've known that it's like, okay, we need to heal, we need to be okay, we need to move together, y'all. At Me Too, we created a self-guided healing platform for survivors of sexual violence called Survivors Sanctuary. And in it, we talk about many things. We talk about our theory of healing, which talks about post-traumatic growth, which is what you named earlier in terms of all the beauty and life that can still be had beyond those moments of trauma. We talked about taking that cognitive approach and the body-based approach. But we also create a space, we have an anonymous and encrypted space for survivors to share their stories. And this is a way for us to share stories of survivorship. So not only just a moment or the moments of harm, but also the ups and downs of the healing journey. And not having this as a way just to collect stories for the sake of collecting stories, but a way of building community and witnessing for survivors to be able to see, for other survivors to see themselves like, I hear you, I see you, and to affirm each other. Can you all speak to the value and power of storytelling as a survivor, and how can narrative be used to help survivors heal from sexual violence?
So when I work with my clients, I'm letting them, they're writing bars. They're like, whether it's you got a high 16, you got a 32, because you really was in it. We're writing poems, we're doing writing the stories or stand up. I have a couple clients go through their routines with me, and they're talking about their survivor story and being able to, they'll always say, well, I know it's supposed to be sad. What is it for you? Yes. And if you felt like this is the comical piece of it, this is comical, or I know I should be, you know, more. No, 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 no. What do you feel? How do you want to be seen? How do you want to be heard? This is the time. And whether it's recording that narrative or actually just going and telling your story aloud, it reminds the body and the mind that, girl, we're together and we're working together. And it also warms the spirit and goes, oh, okay, this is what it feels like to be seen again. So the more you tell your story, the more real it is for you. I don't care about other people. I want to know how real this is for you, and how the more you tell your story, not the more comfortable you get with telling your story, but the more confidence you get with telling your story. Using the words you want to use to say, this is what happened to me, and this is who I am now. They know how to navigate conflict better, interpersonal disagreements better. They know how to stand up for themselves better because they were given the space to play with that, edit that, and come off the way they chose to.
This is for me where like theory comes into practice of like supporting my folk and Black folk, right? So I love narrative therapy. I think it's such a powerful tool for those reasons. You get to claim your story, but also knowing Black folk, we are communal and we are oral, right? Like we are folks that process, that live, that share through our oral history. And so when I think of survivors and giving them the opportunity to storytell, one, it just plays into who we are. It aligns with our beings, but also that importance of community. You get to share your story with a community that gets it, that validates your experience, that can ask you the questions that can help you go deeper, that can champion you, that can pat you on the back, that can hug you. And when you have the confidence to share your story, and you have the confidence to share your story amongst people who are like you, who have had your experiences, it navigates you through the journey of healing. And I just love that Me Too offers that, because it does allow you to create a community outside of the folks you may be interacting with on a daily basis. And we know that part of survivorship, when you get to survivorship, is isolation. And so creating an opportunity to start off, even if it is encrypted and anonymous, it still gives you the opportunity to build community in a safe space.
Someone stole your choice when they decided for you. They took your body into their own hands and out of yours. And with it, you may have watched your voice trail behind, or felt it become lodged in your throat, skewered by your breath. You may have seen the sense of where your body begins and ends dissolve. The choices are medicinal, beloved. May you choose healing in every moment. May you choose to snatch yourself back. Hold it like it belongs to you. Hold on to you and your body. Hear your voice return, singing musical yeses and nos. Feel your breath be free and wild in your body where you belong.